both hear me?
Yep.
Alrighty. Cool. Okay, so I should establish how are the new names meant to be pronounced. So I think it's Jeremiah Pater, I'm guessing.
That would be correct, yeah.
That'd be correct. And then Johnny Warana. Oh no, sorry, Johnny Warana. No, Warana. Is that right? No, surely not. Warana. Johnny Warana. I'm gonna trip over that one so many times tonight. That's gonna be interesting. Is that correct? What was that, Shane? Hang on, you're very quiet again. Arena?
We're Arena.
We're Arena. We're Arena.
We're Arena.
We're Arena.
Troy Chislowski is in.
Troy Chislowski. Chislowski, got it? Okay.
Troy Chislowski. And Jeremiah is like Jeremiah, so Jeremiah.
Jeremiah Pater.
Pater, that's it.
And Johnny no.
Johnny Wirarena.
Wirarena.
Just call him Johnny Jr. Just say Johnny Jr. Alright?
That's probably going to be easier. Johnny Jr.
Right. Johnny Jr.
Wirarena.
No, don't worry about his last name, just call him Johnny Jr. And then, who's the other one? Pater. Jeremiah Pater. Alright, we're going live, Jack.
Yeah, loud and clear. By the way, the broadcast can hear our audio.
I can... Yeah. I can't hear you. 1, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. We're just going straight into it.
Alright.
Okay, welcome race fans. It's Shane Gilfither here, your host for tonight's race, round 7 of the British Touring Car Championship. Today we're at TERETONGA, but I'm also joined by my two favourite commentators, David Evans and Jack MacKenzie. David, welcome back.
Thank you, Shane. It's good to be here in the commentator box. I'm ready to commentate another round of the British Touring Car League.
It's good to have you back, mate, and by popular demand, everyone loved his introductory commentating last week. Jack MacKenzie, how you going, buddy?
Ah, you're too kind, Shane. Good morning, good evening, and good night to wherever you may be in the world. Welcome along to some British touring car racing from Racecentre tonight. We're racing in TERETONGA, obviously, and I'm very excited to be back in the booth for some more racing action at Racecentre, commentating my second race on the microphone.
Now, as you mentioned, we are at TERETONGA. It's going to be 5-10 lap races. Very short circuit, very tight. You can see here, as we're watching David Baker on screen, currently in qualifying, there's not much room for error. Dave, it's going to be quite tight tonight.
Yeah, no, David Baker's definitely wants to beat Harrison Tebb tonight. He lost the championship lead to him last time we were in the British Touring Car League. So I was speaking to David before, and he was like super hungry coming in tonight. So he definitely wants to beat Harrison Tebb at all costs.
Well, it's going to be hard. I mean, we've just finished quali because we joined quite late with the commentary team. But looks like Harrison Tebb's actually taken pole, and Baker's down in 5th. So a bit of work for him to do if he's going to live up to what he wanted to do prior to this round. So that is the end of quali. Jack, we've got the results showing up just in a second here. We're just waiting for everyone to pass. We've got a couple of new drivers with us. We've got Jeremiah Pater in the Ford Focus. He's actually racing with us at Entertainment Park. So too is Johnny Jr. Both rookies tonight, so we'll keep a close eye on them. They love this sport, so it's great to have them join us, and should be a great one. We've got a couple other drivers here, Jack, as well.
Yeah, we certainly do. We've got a couple of Racecentre regulars as well. As we said, Harrison Tebb has qualified on the pole for the first race of the evening. We've got Scott Flack, Matt Collins, Matthew Pritchard, David Baker, Christian Cond, and Eli Newman rounds off our regular drivers in the field tonight. We've got a top quality field, and it should make for some top quality sim racing.
Yeah, we've got a full grid, top 10. The guys have been practicing pretty hard. It's been pretty hectic here at Entertainment Park. We've got 5 drivers with us tonight. Gabrielle, if you're listening at home, I hope your school event's going well. He couldn't be with us tonight, and he'll be missing this sorely, but I'm sure he'll be watching this later tonight, if not already. So we welcome the new drivers. We've had Matt Collins and Matt Pritchard fix up the cars before the race. So we had some tech issues with them last week, which caused a bit of action on track. But tonight, hopefully, we'll get straight into it.
I just want to bring attention to, well, obviously, we've got the qualifying results on screen. Look at the gap between the top 4. Just over 0.3 of a second separating the top 4. 0.02 of a second separating Harrison Tebb and Scott Flack on the front row. If qualifying is a sign of things to come for the rest of the night, we are in for some absolutely spectacular racing.
Yeah, you better grab those popcorn, ladies and gentlemen, from watching at home. If it's going to be that close on qualifying, who knows what could happen in the race. So it should be some exciting stuff.
Okay, so we've got the guys here. We're just going to go into our first race. As I said before, 1 of 5, so we'll get into it. And hopefully the boys will give us a great show tonight.
Now, I understand the rest of the grids for tonight are sorted randomly, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. So the first race is off qualifying results. and then we're going to randomise the races after this. So straight into race 1, we've got the two Ford Focus, Matt Pritchard and Matt Collins on the second row of the grid, but we'll show the Harrison Tebb on pole. Magic lap from him.
And there we go. Harrison Tebb has readied up to join the other Mercedes on the front row of Scott Flack, and will only be a few moments away now from the start of this race. Oh, it looks like a couple of cars have moved forward, and the green flag is flown for the first race of the night here at TERETONGA. Who's got the better start between Tebb and Flack? We're racing. Oh, and there's a spinner in the background. It looks like Pritchard's in the wall in the Ford Focus, and Harrison Tebb has taken the lead over Scott Flack as everybody files, single file through the first corner, and Scott Flack's a little bit sideways as well, but it looks like it's been a crazy start. We've got the rookie Pater off in the background as well, and Troy Cieslawski, and that was Matt Pritchard almost came together, so it's been quite a hectic start to the race as there's cars running on the gravel as well. It looks like Johnny Jr. had an excursion into the grass as well as has Cieslawski. So what an incredible start to this race run, lap 1 of 10.
Yes, we've got Harrison Tebb quite solid out the front with Scott Flack, Matt Collins and David Baker up in a 4 now after it looks like Pritchard got tagged a bit there. Wasn't sure if that was Cieslawski or Johnny Jr., but we're completing the first lap now, and we're watching Matt Collins.
Yeah, so now great stuff to this first opening race. As we can see, Harrison Tebb trying to extend the lead over Scott Flack in second, but Scott Flack is not going to let him out of his sights. And David Baker still trying to keep up with Matt Collins there in third. As we can see, we've got Christian coming down to the 5th. We've got Matt Pritchard in 6th, followed by the 2 rookies of Johnny and Jeremiah. And then we've got Eli Newman and Troy rounding out in last place in the top 10.
Yeah, and it looks like Harrison Tebb is beginning to extend the lead over second and third, so it looks like Scott Flack is going to have to focus more on defending from Matt Collins than actually attacking Harrison Tebb, as Matt Collins is right all over the back of Scott Flack. Is he going to try and look for a move going into the first corner? They were basically bump drafting going down the straight there. They couldn't be closer if they tried. But all the while, this is helping Harrison Tebb, as Matt Collins is having a little bit of a look on Scott Flack. He's looking every which way to try and improve his position. All the while, this is helping Tebb's race more and more, as it looks like the battle for second place is really starting to heat up. I'm not sure about anybody else, but it sounds like Shane has gone a little bit quiet on our end. But in any case, the race is still raging on. We'll hope to hear from Shane again at some point. So looks like I'll be taking the reins for a little while. The battle still continues to rage up at the front of the field. It seems that the midfield sort of downwards is beginning to spread out a little bit, as there's a bit of a battle developing for 4th, 5th and 6th here. But it almost looks like there's 2 races going on at the moment, and the battle up front, particularly for second place, is just as close as it has been all night. Matt Collins gaining on Scott Flack,
He's right all over the back of him now. He looks like he's just trying to find a gap on the inside, but Scott Black is managing to defend from the Ford Focus behind very, very well. And this battle for second could not be closer. And I'm hoping tonight's racing is virtually just going to be like this the entire night. And it looks like Harrison Tebb is actually close to putting a lap on Troy Cieslawski. That probably wasn't the start that he would have wanted tonight. Traffic could actually play rather interestingly into the battle at the front. It does look like Scott is beginning to close down on Harrison Tebb as he runs a little bit wide in the gravel, and they've caught Cieslawski as well, who's very courteous and moving out of the way. But the battle for the top three has closed up again, and it looks like Scott Black, is he going to try and move on Harrison Tebb? He's chosen the outside line. Can he find the grip to get round Harrison Tebb? It doesn't look like he will on this occasion, as Tebb is able to defend the inside line. But then, of course, this has actually brought Matt Collins right into the fray of the lead battle. And I cannot take my eyes off this battle. If you even blink, you might miss something very important indeed. And we're on lap 6 of 10. We've still got plenty of racing action to go, but it looks like this will be the story of the night. Scott Flack still continuing to chase down Harrison Tebb. He looks like he's under a little bit of pressure from Matt Collins, and it looks like he actually moved over to the side to cover off the Ford Focus, and they're basically in a drafting line. This is starting to look more like a super speedway race in Daytona than a touring car race. Scott Flack is going to the outside. Is Matt Collins going to try it as well? Scott Flack on the outside of Tebb. Can he find the grip? Matt Collins stuck behind Tebb. They're still side by side for the front. Scott Black trying to find the gap, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Harrison Tebb still in the lead, and now Flack is under pressure from Matt Collins. This could be an overtake for second place here, but Matt Collins, he gets checked up by the Mercedes in front, and it's still a Mercedes 1-2, but this battle looks like it is going to treat us all the way, just as I said before. I cannot take my eyes on it even for a moment. And there's still other racing action throughout the field, but nothing quite as close as what is going on at the front of the field. Top three still running line astern. Will Scott Flack try another line? It looks like probably the only way that he's going to be able to make it through on the inside of turn one is, of course, an inside pass, as I don't think the grip's there on the outside. It looks like these top two are just starting to drop Matt Collins a little bit. Scott Flack has a look to the inside, and he slid wide. He's spun, and Matt Collins goes up into second place. But Scott Flack all the way out in the dirt, and that'll take him out of the battle for the lead. And it looks like he's going to lose a position to David Baker. David Baker has to slide to a stop to avoid Scott Flack. That was almost a huge accident there on the rejoin for Flack in the Mercedes. But that's rotten luck for Flack, as David Baker just goes down the inside of the Mercedes. Scott Flack, he's out of the podium positions and now under pressure from Christian Kond in the Subaru Levorg. And Christian Kond to the inside. What an abysmal lap. Scott Flack, it has all gone wrong in a heartbeat. He's gone from what was almost a certain podium place, had nothing gone wrong, to outside of the podium, and now just on the edge of the top five. But will he try a move on Christian Kond? This time does he have the straight line speed to get through? I'm not sure he does. We do actually have some very different cars running in the midfield. We've got a Ford, we've got a Subaru, and we've got a Mercedes. Scott Flack looked to the inside of Christian Kond just briefly, but it doesn't look like there was a move there. Meanwhile, of course, the battle race in the front, but we are watching the battle as it continues in the midfield. They're right with each other as it stands. Three different types of cars, all racing line astern. It's Scott Flack. He'll be desperate to try and get himself back into the podium positions after that very unfortunate accident, just running wide behind Harrison Tebb, dipping a wheel into the grass and going off the road. And now the battle rages at the front, but it looks like Christian Kond tries to move on the inside of David Baker. There was actually a touch there, but David Baker will hang on to the position. as we said before, there's 2 races going on at the moment, but I'm not entirely sure which one to watch, as they're both as exciting as each other. It looks like Scott Flack is going to try and move on Christian Kond. If there's 3 cars involved going into turn 1, this could be an aeroplane crash, but he's quickly covered off by Christian Kond, moving his Subaru to the inside to cover off from Scott Flack. And there's a race for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Just to interrupt you, unfortunately, but it looks like Scott Flack will just get by Christian Kond on the final lap, going into the final corners. And what a first race of the night! I could have. Whoa! There's a crash just after the finish line, just for some extra style points. But what a first race of the night! That was a fantastic way to start the action off. Certainly was. It was action pretty much from start to finish. We saw 2 races pretty much going on. There was the battle for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, which Scott Flack very unfortunately dropped out of. But then there was, of course, the battle in the midfield between Kond, Flack, and Baker. So what a first race! Congratulations to Harrison Tebb. It's also a Mercedes one too. So Matt Collins has done very, very well. And it really could not have been any closer. The gap was, according to my timing sheets, it was just over 1/10 of a second at the front of the field. And the midfield battle was pretty much just as close. But there you have it. There are your end of race results. Harrison Tebb takes out 1st place honours, followed by Matt Collins, David Baker, Scott Flack, Christian Kond, Jeremiah Pater, the rookie, 6th place on debut, I believe, which is a good result. Matthew Pritchard in 7th place, followed by Eli Newman. Troy Cieslawski in 9th, and Johnny Jr. rounding off the top 10 for race 1 of the night at TERETONGA.
Tahi, tell them about Entertainment Park.
Well, this place, it's like, it's...
My favourite place in the world!
The thing about this place is that...
It's fun for all ages, no matter what your age. You'll love it.
What I really want to say about Entertainment Park is,
They have the best go-karts, plus a great cafe. Games, bowling, simulation, but the go-karts, oh my God, they are so much fun.
look, thing is that this place is...
Perfect for my birthday party. Everyone said it was the best birthday party ever. Yeah!
What I really want to say about this place is...
Just say it!
It's a fully hectic, oh my God, venue.
Finally! Entertainmentpark.com.au. And as Tahi says, it's hectic.
And oh my God.
laps to do the job. But we love the show they're creating at the moment, just coming out of the stadium onto the main straight. Starting the second lap. Oh, and he's just blocked the inside. There he is, side by side, trying to get past. There he goes. Marty's just got to stay with him now, but he's just ran wide there. That's Scott Flack. For race 2 of the round 7 of the British Touring Car Championship, we've got reverse grid of quali. So we've got Eli Newman on the pole, Troy Czeslowski on the front, and our rookies, Johnny Jr. And here we go. There's the buzzer. It's Eli Newman getting a great launch off the line. Troy Czeslowski not doing too bad as well. We've got the red A45 of Johnny Jr. who moves up into P2. We've also got the other shredder lead on the inside as well. But we've got the faster guy towards the back. Christian Conch is falling back. Eli Newman just clipping the grass there, so he's off. And that's Scott Flack. Yeah, we've got Amaya Pater still in P2, doing a fantastic job. Just coming across the line as we speak. Commentator's curse. And Scott Flack had nowhere to go but straight ahead, and unfortunately
We got Matt Collins set a new personal best of the race with a 1:05. He's now starting to pull away from Scott Flack out in front, and so we can see Harrison Tebb and Pritchard along with Scott Flack having a little three-way battle at the front there. So it should be good racing between those two, and David Baker's now up to 5th, so he's making up from that earlier spin, and he's desperate to get as much points as he can to get in this back in this championship with Harrison Tebb.
Yeah, and as we said before, in the first race, it almost looks like there's a couple of different races playing out as there's multiple different battle packs as Troy Cieslawski's just spun in turn 1 and has come together with Eli Newman. Okay, so that's the end of that battle pack, as that has ended in tears, unfortunately. So it looks like the main battle of the race is going to be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Now, I'm going to touch wood because that was a commentator's curse, and that is the greatest crime in all of broadcasting. But I digress. Harrison Tebb just in front of Matthew Pritchard. It looks like this battle pack is starting to spread out a little bit. Matt Collins is beginning to build up a healthy lead as he's beginning to catch up to Jeremiah Pater, as it looks like the leaders are going to start lapping the back of the field. And that is the race so far. It's been crazy. We were mentioning Jeremiah Pater before, right in the mix early on in the race. But unfortunately, due to an incident, has found himself right at the back. Unfortunately, that's just what we were saying last week in the supercars. So, for instance, Gabriel Nunez, he's new to sim racing, and was right at the front of the field early in the race, but unfortunately fell foul to an incident. So, just that pressure can lead to mistakes, and that is something that you certainly have to learn the hard way.
We've got Jeremiah coming into the pits down in 10th, just behind us here at Entertainment Park. So I'm guessing he's changing the tyres.
Oh, and Matt Collins. You couldn't see this on the broadcast, but he was absolutely sending it into turn 1. The tyres of his Ford Focus absolutely smoking away. That was some very flamboyant driving there, I must say. Who was that, sorry?
Matt Collins just spun off from the race lead down into 4th now.
Oh, what a shame. There's action all throughout the field, actually. So even all the way down in 8th and 9th, Christian Kond and Troy Cieslawski are actually having an interesting little scrap. Christian Kond looking to the outside in turn 1, and that's Matt Collins off the road. That's the race leader into the tyre barriers, just sacrificing the lead of the race. What an upset. That is Scott Flack in the Mercedes taking over the lead of the race, and it looks like the doors of this race have been flung wide open. What was looking to be a very safe Ford 1-2 has swung the way of the Mercedes of Harrison Tebb and Scott Flack. What an upset. It looks like just people falling foul to the tricky nature of this track. There's no room for error, and if you dip a tyre into the grass, it's over. And it looks like even our race leader, which was Matt Collins, has learned that the hard way and gifted the lead to Scott Flack. It certainly isn't over yet, even on lap 7.
Yeah, there was a bit of a shame from Matt Collins, because he was pushing very hard to try and get those maximum points, Jack. But, you know, Matt Collins will be looking to make up those spots and hopefully, you know, to try and finish on the podium. I think it's going to be his goal now. But he's got to try and get past Pritchard, and he's 3 seconds behind Matt Pritchard, who's in 3rd at the moment.
Yeah, he's and even still, Pritchard is just starting to reel in Harrison Tebb. But as we said, it doesn't look like any position is safe. I was saying earlier that Matt Collins did look to be pushing that Ford Focus very hard. Even in turn 1, he was actually slightly sideways. So it might have been that the setup on that car was just slightly too aggressive and too difficult to be consistent over a race distance. But that, whatever the case, whether it was just a tiny error or maybe a bad setup choice, that has almost certainly cost Matt Collins the lead. But due to the volatile nature of this race, we really can't say for certain. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, while Scott Flack is beginning to pull out something of a lead to the cars behind him, it looks like there is a battle developing for 2nd place, as Harrison Tebb has just dipped a couple of tyres into the grass on the final corner and is now under pressure from Matthew Pritchard, who is going to the outside and looking for a way past on the Mercedes. It doesn't look like it's going to happen this time by, but these two are right with each other. We've got 2 laps to go, and if these two can keep it on the road and these two can keep it clean, this should be the battle that sees us through to the end of the race, and that'll be some very exciting racing action for you all. Obviously, the racing that we have seen tonight thus far has been nothing short of sensational and thrilling from start to finish, but it looks like it's really going to heat up here right towards the end of this race. It's far from over.
Yeah, Scott Flack just was clipping the dirt there as he's slapping Troy Slowski by the looks of things. So he's lost a little time to Harrison Tebb and Pritchard from behind, but it hasn't cost him too much. So Scott Flack will be very lucky with that, not to lose that so much time in the race lead. Espinel starting lap 10 out of 10 here in race 2 for the British Touring Car League. David Baker's 14 seconds behind in 5th place, so all he can hope for now is that the top 4 make a mistake and then Baker can slot himself right in there.
See, I think the thing that's costing Harrison Tebb at the moment is his exits in the final corner haven't exactly been ideal. Oh, and Matthew Pritchard really pushing the envelope, dipping a couple of wheels of the grass on the exit of a very, very fast corner. He wants the 2nd place, and he is willing to put life, limb, and car on the line for this race. And they're going to get stuck behind Troy Cieslawski. Is traffic going to play a factor on all of this? It looks like it might. Cieslawski acting as a lawnmower. Did that cost Pritchard an opportunity to overtake? What's his exit going to be like in the final corner? Will this be a race to the line? Harrison Tebb and Matthew Pritchard are right with each other as Scott Flack crosses the line to win the race. But Harrison Tebb is just going to hold off Matthew Pritchard in the Ford Focus behind. What a thrilling conclusion to this race. And there is your top 3. Matt Collins from the lead of the race. He'll probably be reeling over that. That could have been a race win, but he ends up in 4th. Not diabolical by any means, but David Baker comes home in 5th. Johnny Jr. in the Mercedes comes home in 6th. And the battle still rages on for 7th place. Will Eli Newman make a move going into the final corner? Is there room? Is there time? I'm not sure there is, but what's Christian Condex's going to be like? Oh, and Eli Newman off the road in the final corner. Any opportunity he might have had to make a late race, an impact on the race late in the day, has gone by the wayside as Christian Con secures 7th place and Eli Newman comes home in 8th. Troy Cieslawski has already finished the race, as has Pater, and that rounds off another thrilling British touring car race for Racecentre. And there are your finishing results. Scott Flack takes the race victory over Harrison Tebb. What was almost a very safe Ford 1-2 has become a Mercedes 1-2. And those 2 Fords are Matthew Pritchard, who finishes 3rd, and Matt Collins in 4th place. David Baker in 5th place, followed by Johnny Jr. on debut in 6th. Christian Cond in the Soul Subaru in the field in 7th place ahead of Eli Newman. Troy Cieslawski and Jeremiah Pater rounding off the field for race 2 of the night. And that was absolutely sensational.
There's a new whiskey in town. One that embodies the strength and character of our people, that dares to do it our own way. Crafted by a master distiller to create something uniquely Australian. Ned, Australian Whiskey.
Okay, so the boys are gridded up. We're back for race 3.
And we're off and racing, and that's a good start by Matt Collins out in front, and someone's just gone off at the back of the field there. That was Christian Conn down in the Subaru, so he won't be happy with that. But good start by Matt Collins nonetheless. We've got Heremiah in second, David Baker third, followed by Johnny Jr. Scott Flack currently in fifth, with Harrison Tebb sixth. We've got Matthew Pritchard in seventh, Eli Newman in eighth, and Troy Silowski in P9.
Oh, and Johnny Jr.'s just slid off the road there. Once again, was about to say that we were relatively clean up other than a couple of lawnmowers off in the background, but unfortunately for Johnny Jr. on debut, just sliding off and he's down to 8th place. But it looks like the field is sort of starting to settle into something of a race out the front. Matt Collins is a bit of a lead to the cars behind, but 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and yeah, even 6th place are right with each other at the moment. We're in for some cracking stuff at the front of the field tonight.
Yeah, shout out to Jim's Mowing for the people that go off under the grass.
Absolutely. David Baker looking to the inside of Scott Flack going into turn 1. Let's see how this little battle turns out. Looks like David Baker has found the line on the inside, but Scott Flack doing very, very well to defend so far on the outside, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to hold on to the position, which has actually also opened the door for Harrison Tebb behind, as Matthew Pritchard had a bit of a moment there out on the grass.
You can see Harrison Tebb just getting squirrely there, trying to get around Scott Flack, and up comes what looks like Pritchard, who cut right across, I think that was, yeah, that was Pritchard.
Pritchard's just spun it, unfortunately for him, so battle at the front has become five horse race by the looks of things.
And that's Junior off again in the grass, unfortunately. But who's that up the inside of David Baker? That's our rookie, Hermina Pater.
I think Pater was actually on the defensive from David Baker, but David Baker's failed overtake on the car in front has actually opened up the door a little bit for Scott Flack. But as we've seen in the earlier races, I don't think the outside line into turn 1 is really ideal for overtaking. But Scott Flack still tries it, but can't quite make it happen on this time by. We'll have to see what his run on the exit of the corners like, which looks like it's actually gone quite well for him.
Yes, Baker's got a lot more confidence after that second race. His first one wasn't that great, but definitely make amends for it in race 2. And in race 3, he wants to hold it while he's got Scott Flack all over the back, defending in front of Harrison Tebb, which is making everything awkward for Flack, as we see Baker just stretching away, and Jeremiah Pater up in P2 is also gapping as well.
Tebb went for a lunge on Flack, but he couldn't quite find the braking distance. Scott Flack just a little bit braver. But now we would have what the Formula 1 equivalent would be of a DRS train going on here. But the top 5 starting to pull away from the cars behind us. Harrison Tebb makes a move to the inside. He's all crossed up and he's kept the car on the road. He's trying to find the gap on Scott Flack. Can he make it stick? He's still trying to find the space. They're side by side. Scott Flack's doing very, very well to hold on. And Harrison Tebb almost ran off into the grass there, but Scott Flack doing very, very well to defend from the Mercedes behind.
Yeah, great little battle between these two. As Jack was just saying, with Scott Flack and Harrison Tebb. These two guys are really good drivers. They know how to defend the positions. And then they've got David Baker and Jeremiah just out in front. So this is becoming a four-way battle for second, third, fourth, fifth. As Matt Collins is just pulling away out in front, almost 4 seconds over Jeremiah back in second.
We've got Matthew Pritchard recovering back up into P6 with Christian not behind him. There was a battle earlier with Christian Conn and Eli Newman, but he's just managed to drop off as we go back up the front. Matt Collins has stretched away to a 3.5 second lead, and thankfully he's not in this one because this is a hot battle. Our rookie Jeremiah Pater's holding up P2, just running a bit wide there, which puts him in an awkward position for the next one. But Scott Flack's moved up into P3 just ahead of Baker, but Baker's going to want to get that back, so we'll see the pressure heating up even more now as Scott Flack and Baker really honing in. It's hard to see who's got the line. We'll see under this deep braking zone. Jeremiah's taken the defensive, gone early, but he's overrun it. Look at this cluster.
We've got two sort of drafting lines at the moment. Oh, this could be an aeroplane crash. If Pater's not careful, he's actually defending quite aggressively. The rookie has it all to do in what is a very busy third race of the night. We've got 2 wide going into turn 1. David Baker's locked up a little bit. Will he come together with Pater? No, that was almost certainly going to be an aeroplane crash right there, but somehow everyone's managed to keep it all on the straight and narrow as Scott Flack testing his luck with the grass there, but somehow everybody's still in one piece. Pater, the rookie, the debutant, having a very, very busy second race of the night, and it is making for some very, very entertaining on-track action, and I cannot look away.
I can't. I hope you guys at home are really enjoying this, because I can hear Jack losing his voice calling this racing tonight as Harrison Tebb just goes on the outside but manages to pull it up. It's Flack really should be tucking in to get the draft, but it's a drag race down the main straight as Baker's drafting Jeremiah Pater up in P for P2, and this is battle for P3. Oh, looks like Harrison Tebb's dropping out with internet issues. I can't see him there, although he's reappeared, so we've got a bit of lagging. I'm not too sure if it's on his end or our end, but Harrison's just dropped a position there to Scott Flack, and Baker's doing everything he can to get up into P2.
Yeah, I was just going to say he got an incredible run out of the first corner, and he's putting Pater under even more pressure than he already has been tonight. Pater's doing, touch wood, quite well to keep a cool head. Obviously, we saw him drop out of what was going to be a very, very strong position in the previous race, but he's so far done very, very well to keep the hard-charging Baker, Flack, and Teb behind him, putting his car in just the right place to keep David Baker behind. But all this squabbling is actually beginning to bring Matthew Pritchard back into this. He's almost caught the back of Harrison Teb, but meanwhile, for second place, Baker, well, he was having a look at Pater, but it doesn't look like an overtake's going to happen into the first corner, or will it? Because there was a gap briefly on the inside. However, Pater has actually managed to refill that gap. All the while, though, Matt Collins is beginning to extend his lead to 6.5 seconds out front.
Yeah, we got Matthew Pritchard in 6th, closing in on this battle. So Matthew Pritchard is going to get himself a piece of this action with 2 laps to go. So he's looking to make up some positions. Oops, and that was David Baker.
Flack off the road, and there was a bit of contact between Baker and Flack. Scott Flack has actually done quite well to keep it in a straight line, but he looks like he's just about to drop a position to Harrison Teb as Flack runs off the road there. But so far, these guys have had so many close calls, but somehow they've actually managed to get away with nearly every single one of them. So they're really testing their luck. They're putting it all on red, and somehow it's coming up red every single time. And because of that, it's putting on an absolutely incredible show. And this battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and quite possibly very soon 6th has raged on for 9 laps now. We've not got long left, which actually makes me disappointed because I could watch this all night. But it all comes down to probably about a lap and a half. Can Pater hold the hard-charging pack behind him?
Having a shocker in P10 at the moment, but we'll go back up the front. And it's still Hermina Pater.
We've got 2 drafting packs happening at the moment. Teb had pulled all the way over to the left-hand side of the track, and it almost looked like it was turning into a race that you'd see maybe at Talladega, and Harrison Teb throws it up the inside of Scott Flack. What an incredible move. Can he make it stick on the inside, or will Scott Flack hold the line on the outside? This is going to be close. Can Teb stick it round the outside? I'm not sure he can.
Oh,
Teb's
put the
up the
glass.
road, and he spun it. He spun it. Teb's out of the battle. But Pater, he's still having to hold off David Baker behind him. It's now a 3-horse race for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Meanwhile, Matt Collins, he is about to round the final corner of the race to claim what is almost a certain victory, but the battle still rages on behind him. Can David Baker get a good run out of the final corner? He runs into the back of Pater. Oh no, David Baker's around!
Oh, he's spewing.
As well. Pater holds on to claim 2nd place. What an incredible result for the rookie. And it all kicked off on the final straight of the final lap. Scott Flack comes home in 3rd. Pritchard manages to claim 4th. Harrison Teb comes home 5th. David Baker, what could have been possibly a podium position, ends up in 6th place. Christian Conn comes across the line in 7th. And Johnny Jr. claims 8th place just at the last moment over Eli Newman, with Troy Chislowski coming home to round off the field in 10th place. And what an absolutely thrilling conclusion to what was throughout an awesome battle.
Yeah, David Baker's not happy with what happened on the last corner there as he's throwing his arms up in the air. But that rounds off race 3 with Matt Collins taking out first in the Ford Focus, along with Jeremiah Peter in 2nd place, Scott Flack 3rd, Matthew Pritchard 4th. We've got Harrison Teb in the Mercedes coming 5th, David Baker 6th, Christian Conn in 7th. We've got Johnny Jr. in 8th, Eli Newman coming in 9th, and Troy Solowski rounding out the top 10.
And it looked like Troy was doing donuts over the line there. But with that, I think it's about time we head to our ad breaks.
Tahi, tell them about Entertainment Park.
Well, this place, it's like, it's...
My favourite place in the world!
The thing about this place is that
It's fun for all ages, no matter what your age. You'll love it.
what I really want to say about Entertainment Park is,
They have the best go-karts plus a great cafe. Games, bowling, simulation, but the go-karts, oh my God, they are so much fun.
look, thing is that
No,
it's...
no, well, we didn't have a
is-
stream for
This
the,
place
Discord.
is...
Perfect for my birthday party. Everyone said it was the best birthday party ever. Yeah!
What I really want to say about this place is...
Just say it!
It's a fully hectic, oh my God, venue.
Yeah, see, because you know how you stream it.
Finally! Entertainmentpark.com.au. And as Tahi says,
we didn't
it's
have that this
hectic.
And, oh my God.
Yeah, and I think also Shane, I think your audio went a bit iffy about halfway through the race there as well.
Okay, what were you saying about sorry, I missed didn't have Discord or something?
Yeah, so you know how you usually stream the race in the chat so I can see it. We didn't have that last race.
Yeah, because the stream OBS crashed.
Okay.
So Discord. Okay, I'll do that now. Sorry.
No, it's all good. And then yeah, I think your audio sort of went like pretty much like pretty iffy throughout like halfway through the race. I'm not sure, but
All right, maybe I can use the microphone in that computer. And just deal with the level. I hate this shit. So I'll use the microphone to listen on the headphone.
Shane, we can still hear our audio on the stream.
Tahi, tell them about Entertainment Park.
Well, this place, it's like,
Tahi, tell them about Entertainment Park.
well, this place, it's like, it's...
My favourite place in the world!
The thing about this place is that
It's fun for all ages, no matter what your age. You'll love it.
what I really want to say about Entertainment Park is,
They have the best go-karts plus a great cafe. Games, bowling, simulation, but the go-karts, oh my God, they are so much fun.
look, thing is that it's, this place is...
Perfect for my birthday party. Everyone said it was the best birthday party ever. Yeah!
What I really want to say about this place is...
Just say it!
It's a fully hectic, oh my God, venue.
Finally! Entertainmentpark.com.au. And as Tahi says, it's hectic.
And, oh my God.
Yeah, things are only going to get more exciting from here, I reckon, boys. So we'll see what happens here in race 4.
Yeah, we've got 12. We've got just 7 seconds until the green flag. We've got Matt Collins and Johnny Jr. on the front row of the grid, and the lights are coming on. The green flag is about to fly, and we are racing for another race here at TERETONGA. And Matt Collins with a great great start, but Johnny Jr. not with the start he would have wanted, and this has opened up the door for Pater and David Baker. As, well, we've got 2 rows of 2 going into turn 1, and Pritchard looks like he wants in on this as well.
Yeah, as we can see, we got Jeremiah and David Baker fighting for that second position around the first couple of corners. Neither one of them is going to yield, I don't think, so it should be exciting stuff. So we'll just keep an eye on that battle as they come together, and Jeremiah's gone off the track as a result.
Jeremiah Pater with such a strong result for him, and there's all kicking off behind him. It looks like Christian Conn just went around as well, and Chislowski, and Pritchard also looked like it was in it. It looks like there were multiple spinners at once, and it's all kicked off here on the first lap as it has done in the first few races of the night. But once again, Matt Collins extending his lead out front, and it looks like there is another battle forming for second, third, fourth, fifth, and if Eli Newman then catch up to the back, it looks like it'll be for sixth as well. And Johnny Jr. under pressure from Harrison Tebb. How brave is Tebb willing to be at this point in the race? Tebb was all crossed up going into turn 1, but stays behind Johnny Jr. on the first lap of this race.
We can see Harrison really getting on the loud pedal really early, really controlling, pushing that car as hard as he can through the corner, almost touching the back of Junior, who's doing an awesome job holding that lead at the moment. They run 2 laps in about 4 laps. So it's Harrison really trying to put the pressure on. He's just waiting for the look at the track, and that's what the more experienced drivers might go up the inside as we see it live on there. It's Junior. It's almost bucking under pressure. It's 10 minutes ahead of him. We see going up the main straight up the inside, easily getting a better exit on the last corner there as he takes and moves up into P3, relegating Junior down to P4 with Flack further down in P5.
Yeah, it just looked like Junior probably just ran up on the curb on exit a little bit too much, which led to him checking up, and basically Harrison Tebb was long gone by the time they even made it to turn 1. And Scott Black really pushing his luck on the outside, dipping his right-hand side tyres into the grass. He wants to get by Junior as quickly as he can. He wants to try and make his way towards the front as he looks to the outside. Junior actually doing quite a good job to defend at this point in the race. Will Scott Black maybe try and make a move into the final corner? How well will Johnny Jr. defend? Black had a look, but Junior holds on to it, at least for now.
Does a much better job taking that corner, holding position, because Scott Black's just there, sitting there waiting for him to make one little mistake as he's getting up the drive. You can see the gain he's making. He'll come out doing the California pass on the inside, and it'll be deep brakes into turn 1, and we'll go side by side skating through. They touch, but it's okay because they both managed to hold onto the circuit. Union just almost at the back there, as you can see, but Scott Flack moving up into P4.
And once again, we've got a few different battle packs forming. Excuse me. Matthew Pritchard has just gotten by Christian Cond, but Cond is still over the back of him as Pritchard is beginning to catch up to Pater as well. So that might be something to look to as the race continues. But yeah, once again, it looks like second, third, fourth and fifth, that's where the battles really are, and it actually seems to be the same people involved with them as well, although Johnny Jr. has found himself right in the midst of the action for probably the first time tonight actually, but all of this is helping Matt Collins as he's actually stretched his advantage to the front to just over 3 seconds.
Do you think anything could trouble Matt Collins tonight, guys? I just don't see him, making a mistake at all. I mean, no one's put any pressure on him, so Matt Collins is just in his own little zone at the moment.
I do have to ask Dave, do you have any wood near you? Because I think you need to touch it, just in case.
Do you have any wood near you? Just need to touch wood, so...
Oh, touch wood, yes. Commentator's curse. Almost forgot about that. That's a little trend that hopefully that doesn't happen to Matt Collins anytime soon.
Well, Matt Collins has been getting great starts off the line, and he's been unpressured, untouched, and he's been managing to just punch out his own laps, where the other guys, it's really hard to separate because it is such a flowing circuit. It's all about rhythm through here as we halfway through the race of the night. David Bacon now under pressure from Teb, and Flack's going to be there anytime soon. These two hold each other up as Baker takes the inside line. We see again Harrison Teb really pushing it, trying to take a wide, and just, I'm sure he's got the foot flat to the floor if we watch his accelerator inputs of Harrison Teb. You'll never see that green line lift, and he'll just use the steering wheel to control the car. And Flack's going to choose, just going to wait for one mistake from either of these two and collect both positions and hopefully move himself up into P2.
And Flack had a brief look to the outside of Harrison Teb there, but couldn't make it happen. But he's actually got a really, really good run on the Mercedes in front of him. Can he maybe try a pass on the outside? Will he switch to the inside? Not on this occasion. I think he's just depending on his run out of the final corner, and maybe he can use the slipstream to his advantage to maybe just be braver than Harrison Teb on the brakes going into turn one. But Teb has seen this from a mile away and has moved to the inside to try and force Flack to the unideal line around the outside. Oh, but Harrison Teb, he looks up. There was a puff of smoke from the silver and blue Mercedes, and Scott Flack almost took advantage of that, but couldn't quite get by on this occasion.
That was full send from Harrison Teb into turn one. You could see the understeer just washing off to the outside, and unfortunately Flack couldn't capitalise on that lap. We still have 3 laps to go, but he now knows what Harrison Teb's going to do. So the next lap is going to make sure he covers that as we come into the last corner of the 8th lap. He'll show the front grille.
Meanwhile, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Eli Newman and Matthew Pritchard are also having a battle of their own, as Eli Newman very nearly ended up in the gravel, as Pritchard forces his way through on the inside and gets through on Newman, but his exit was quite poor. And meanwhile, this has actually brought Christian Cond right into the action. So there's another battle pack that's formed on lap 8 of 10. And I can't believe it, this race is blown by as well. We're nearly at the end. I don't know where to look. And there's action at the front as well as
it's going to wash off. Hopefully it doesn't cut in the grass, but there he goes coming back in. Christian Con trying to carry his speed and pass Eli, but Eli's blocked it. He's left a bit of a gap open here. Will Con move up? Yes, he does.
Christian's gone.
Just off the back corner of the Subaru, which sends Christian Cond into the wall. That battle has unfortunately ended in tears, as Eli Newman has escaped fairly unscathed here, but has actually just run off the road himself and ended up in the barrier. So both of those cars that were involved in that battle, it's all ended in tears for them. So it seems that the only battle pack that remains is right at the front of this field. Matt Collins extended his advantage to 5.3 seconds. The final challenge remains between David Baker and Scott Flack. Which one of those will come out on top? Harrison Teb made a mistake a few laps ago and has just lost a bit of ground to second and third. But this will be the story that sees us through to the final lap. It'll be David Baker versus Scott Flack for second place.
And we lost Christian Con due to a DNF. I've just noticed coming up on the timesheets there, so that was a shame for Christian Con. Not the way he wanted to finish race 4 here. And I noticed while we were watching Jeremiah, Eli Newman and the Matthew Pritchard battle that Scott Flack passed Harrison Teb and all of that as well.
Yes, Harrison's dropped back into P4 now, 3 seconds off the lead. Whether he's burned up those front tyres as we saw him understeer in turn 1, but Scott Flack saving his tyres as he's trying to go right round the outside of Baker. Baker's holding the inside, he should go wide on the exit just to cover off Flack charging up. But he's managed to grab Flack. Flack trying another line now, going around outside, but we've got a back marker up in front, and this is the last lap of the race. Collins dominating out front, but back for Baker again.
There's Troy Zalowski that just gone off to try and get out of the way of these two, and he does.
So it's Baker and Flack coming into the last corner. Will Baker cover the inside line? Yes, he does. So Flack's got no option. Flack's going to take one. He's got a better run. Here he goes. It's a drag race up the lane.
It's a drag race!
Here we go.
Who's it going to be?
Flack getting the run on Baker for second place ahead of Baker in third, I should say.
Oh, the last corner of the race. It couldn't have been closer. It was just over. I think that was under a tenth of a second between Scott Flack and Harrison Tebb. Scott Flack and David Baker. So it's Matt Collins who takes victory, Scott Flack in second, David Baker comes home in third, Harrison Tebb in fourth position, Matthew Pritchard in fifth, and Johnny Jr. and
up the inside of Eli Newman, last corner. Once again, another driver's lost position on the last corner of the race here. So looks like Junior's moved up at. That was Jeremiah Pater moving up on Eli Newman for P7. Newman in P8. Jaslowski finishing in P9.
that was another nail biter from start to finish. That was hugely enjoyable, and it came down, some of these battles came down to the last corner of the last lap. It couldn't have been closer, and that is why sim racing, and specifically touring car racing in this case, is just so exciting.
Yes, the front wheel drive short cars, short track always delivers, and this is no exception. This has been the best racing we've seen all year, Dave.
Yeah, no, I've been on the edge of my seat throughout all these races. I mean, I just can't get over the excitement, and I'm sure Jack is the same. But yeah, so just some fantastic racing between these guys. This is why, you know, I come here and I watch the stream every single week, because it's just so exciting. I mean, I'd rather be watching this than any other movie, Shane.
Yeah, especially Top Gun that's screening at the moment. I'd definitely be tuning into this weekly. So make sure you guys at home tune in, register on Racecentre Australia YouTube channel, and keep updated as to when we go live. We're just setting up for the final race tonight, race 5. It's going to be an absolute belter.
Tahi, tell them about Entertainment Park.
Well, this place, it's like, it's...
My favourite place in the world!
The thing about this place is that...
It's fun for all ages, no matter what your age. You'll love it.
What I really want to say about Entertainment Park is,
They have the best go-karts plus a great cafe. Games, bowling, simulation, but the go-karts, oh my God, they are so much fun.
look, the thing is that this place is...
Perfect for my birthday party. Everyone said it was the best birthday party ever. Yeah!
What I really want to say about this place is...
Just say it!
It's a fully hectic, oh my God, venue.
Finally! Entertainmentpark.com.au. And as Tahi says, it's hectic.
And oh my God.
Race 5, ready to go. Get ready for race
5. Lights are on, and green flag flies at TERETONGA race 5 tonight. It's Christian Cond and Eli Newman on the front row, but who's got the... Oh, and there's calamities in the background. Harrison Tebb is turned around. Who else was in there? It looks like Harrison Tebb was the main loser from that, turned around on the first lap. Meanwhile, up the front of the field, Peter has gone down the inside of Eli Newman, which has now put the third place runner under pressure from Matthew Pritchard, who goes down the inside of Newman, and has forced Eli Newman off the road, and he's spun around into the gravel trap. What a crazy start to this race.
Yeah, Eli Newman won't be very happy with that, especially standing near the front. Everyone's going off. I can't keep track of all.
Pritchard's just forced Pater off the road, went down the inside, slammed into the door of the Ford Focus, and sent the now 5th place runner into the grass, but he's recovered fairly well to 5th place. Meanwhile, the battle seems to be developing up the front. Matt Collins finds himself under pressure. Matthew Pritchard finds himself under pressure from Matt Collins in the 2 Ford Focuses. Collins goes to the inside. Will he be able to make a move stick going into turn 1? Collins later on the brakes and slots himself ahead of Pritchard. Meanwhile, all this is benefiting Christian Cond, who finds himself up the front for the first time of the night in the Subaru Levorg.
Yes, Christian's not had the best of nights, but this is his best way to make amends, as he's out the front after lap 2, but he's got the 2 Mats in the Garrex X Ford Focuses charging down behind him. Don't know if they'll have team orders as to who will take it first. We've also got Junior up in P4 chasing him down, waiting for another mistake. Tebb already back up into P6 after that opening lap incident.
It certainly is rather interesting, because it seems that a lot of the runners who were right at the front in the last few races have actually found themselves towards the back of the field. 1, because of the random grid order, and 2, because of the incidents that have occurred. Meanwhile, Harrison Tebb has actually just slotted himself ahead of Jeremiah Pater, seemingly having gotten a better exit out of the final corner, while the battle continues to rage at the front. Matt Collins has just closed in Christian Cond and is right all over the back bumper of the Subaru. Matthew Pritchard's right there as well, and it looks like this is going to be a battle for the lead.
Pritchard getting a much better line through there, but Collins is going to get a smoother run and gain that position back as he's right up the back, trying to go up the inside.
Oh no, that's
Christian's gone.
Oh no. Just a tap on the back corner has sent Christian Cond spearing off the road, and he's actually dropped. He's in 6th place now, and now 7th. He's actually stopped on the track and is actually seemingly letting everybody by. I'm not sure if he'll actually rejoin the race or no. He's called it a night. Christian Cond out of the running, turned on lap 4 and has put the Subaru Levorg in the garage. What an unfortunate end to his race. Meanwhile, it seems that the battle for 2nd place is once again developing, as Matt Collins is actually beginning to extend his lead out front. So it's actually starting to stay true to form. Even Harrison Tebb actually brought himself back into his usual position.
Oh, then Johnny.
Oh no!
And Johnny's gone as well.
Oh, Harrison Tebb and Johnny Jr. off the road, just coming together once again. That's the 3rd time that's happened this race. And the order's changed again. So Matt Collins still in the lead. Matthew Pritchard in 2nd place. David Baker's found himself on the podium. And Scott Flack and Harrison Tebb have found themselves also contending for a podium as well. So incidents taking people out of the running tonight. It's probably not how a few of these drivers wanted their races to pan out.
This has been quite the messiest race of the night, which is unfortunate. You'd expect on the 5th race they all sort themselves out, but it's been quite messy from the start, and it's been playing catch-up in a sense. So we've got Collins who's been his way to the front, Pritchard, which I'm not too sure if they'll receive penalties after this race, which will probably be under review tomorrow, and you'll find out on the next round of the British Touring Cars. So we should check that. Rob Baker now in P3, Blackman, P4, Tebb moving up into P5 ahead of Junior, Jaslowski, Pater, Newman, and Cond.
Yeah, I think this might be because some drivers might not have had the races that they would have wanted earlier in the night, and they're just trying so hard to make up any positions. that they lost out on in earlier races, and that leads to mistakes that would otherwise be uncharacteristic. So it might just be the case of the rest of the night is beginning to take their toll in what is race number 5 of the evening. It's beginning to spread out at the front a little bit. Matt Collins has extended his lead. What was 4 seconds, but that's dropped to about 3.4 seconds. So it's a Guard X 1-2 at the front. David Baker runs third, and Scott Flack looks to wanting to be, well, he'll probably want to be challenging Baker within the next few laps or so, or even on this lap, as he is closing the gap to the Entertainment Park Racing Team Focus in front of him.
Yeah, Scott Flack at the moment here on lap 6 is definitely the fastest man out on the track with the 1 minute 0.5. Just a little bit quicker than Matt Collins at the moment, but Matt Collins just under no pressure whatsoever. So I reckon I could see Scott Flack making up a few positions sometime soon, Jack, with the way he's put in his lap times so far in this race.
Well, pace isn't everything. I think, obviously, the ability to defend and attack in effective ways is possibly key. But yeah, you're right. Scott Flack's pace has been lightning quick. But can he get by on David Baker? It's an aggressive move to the inside as he caught Baker off guard. It looks like he has. The two come together. There's a little bit of contact, but Scott Flack safely up into third place for now. But will David Baker make a counterattack? It looks like he will as Scott Flack drifts to the outside. David Baker just on his left-hand side. Can he make a move stick? In the next couple of corners, he switches back to the inside. Is there room to get through? I'm not sure there is on this occasion.
Yeah, a great little battle between these two. David Baker's going to do everything he can to get back onto that podium placings. And we've got Harrison Tebb not too far behind trying to catch up to these two. So Harrison Tebb doing everything he can to try and also make his way up onto the podium placing. And hopefully he can get a mistake out of either Scott Flack or David Baker to make him move up one position further.
Baker's run out of the final corner was quite good. This might have put Scott Flack on the back foot. We'll see if the Mercedes puts up a defense against the Racecentre Focus. It looks like Scott Flack might have the straight line speed to hold on to third place for the moment. David Baker might have to settle for fourth at the moment. He was looking inside. He looked to see if Scott Flack might run wide, which he might have been able to take advantage of. Coming out of the first corner, Scott Flack still has the position. David Baker is right there. He's ready to pounce if Scott Flack even leaves the slightest bit of room for the driver of the Ford Focus to make his way through.
Yes, it looks like Baker's just got a better rhythm through there, but you can see that both entry and exits are quite different between the two drivers. But as they come into the final corner of the lap here, Scott Flack's definitely made a bit of ground. But again, Baker getting a nice exit on there. He's going to have to get a bit closer. He's only got 2 laps to make a move if he wants that final step of the podium. But it looks like they're pretty safe unless Scott Flack overshoots turn 1 here and ends up in the grass.
Meanwhile, the lead is out front. Matt Collins has extended his lead to 4.4 seconds. Scott Flack is 5 seconds behind Matthew Pritchard, give or take. And David Baker actually starting to drop off the back of Scott Flack a little bit. Last lap time for Scott Flack was that was his best lap, but even still, his best lap is just over half a second quicker than that of David Baker. So the driver of the Laser Tools Mercedes is starting to put a gap on Baker in 4th place.
So as we go through the field as well, Harrison Tebb, as you can see there in P5, Johnny Jr. Quite solid in the mid-pack now, in P6 in the Mercedes A45. Got to mention that this is his opening night with us, racing with us here at Entertainment Park at Bankstown. So too Jeremiah Pater in P7 at the moment, doing a great job. Definitely, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd race when he finished 2nd. Absolute awesome effort from him, as we see Eli Newman just rejoining in P8.
So we're starting to see some of these battles settle down a little bit. Scott Flack's last lap time was 1.2 seconds quicker than David Baker behind him. The top two are still running relatively close on lap time, but Matt Collins was able to extend the gap as a lot of these drivers were squabbling for position early on in the race, and that's paid dividends for the driver of the Team Gardex Ford Focus, obviously his teammate running in second. So we're starting to see it settle down a little bit. We're on the last lap now. Matt Collins has actually taken the victory ahead of Matthew Pritchard. Scott Flack coming home in third position. David Baker in fourth. Harrison Tebb comes home in fifth, with Johnny Jr. coming home in a respectable sixth. And Jeremiah Pater will round the final corner to take seventh place. Eli Newman still running in eighth. It looks like that position is relatively secure. Troy Szydlowski will come home in ninth, and Christian Kond, unfortunately, retiring very early in the race, effectively from the lead and out in 10th place.
Yeah, I do want this excitement to end. We've seen some really good battles, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it at home. So now some exciting stuff, and it's sad to see it come to an end. But hopefully we can get some more of this action in the next coming weeks.
So
Absolutely.
That concludes the fifth race of the evening, and it's Matt Collins taking home P1 provisional positions at the moment. Matthew Pritchard in P2, teammate Scott Flack, David Baker third and fourth, with Harrison Tebb recovering from that earlier incident to finish P5. Johnny Jr. doing a great job in mid-pack, as I said before, finishing in P6. Jeremiah Pater in 7, Eli Newman 8, Troy Szydlowski, and an early retirement of Christian Kond. So that's the conclusion of tonight's racing. So make sure you join us for the next round and tune in as we go to the Sydney Motorsport Park. That'll be on the 13th of July. Just keep your notifications on, because we may be changing that race due to a clash with the State of Origin. So we may move that, so please stay tuned. And if you love your V8s, bring up the next round, which will be the 6th of July. So the actual next race will be Townsville in the V8s on the 6th of July, so make sure you're tuning in. Thanks again, Jack, for joining us tonight, and David for your expertise commentary. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Thanks for having me, Shane. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Sitting beside you in the commentary box, and then it's good talking to you, Jack.
Thank you very much for having me along once again. Thank you all the viewers for asking to have me back. I very much appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to being back on the mic at the next opportunity. And thank you very much to Shane for having me along.
Thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next round, round 8 of the British Cars. Until then, it's good night.